Well, hey everyone, my name is Joe Sengel and I'm here with the Monday Money Tip podcast presented by Fully Funded Life. I'm joined as always by my co-host, Megan Hibbard. Are you fired up?
Fired up. Monday, we're on episode 338.
338. That's a lot of episodes.
I thought it was a typo at first. I was like, surely it's supposed to be a 2.
Do you think we're going to make it to 1,000?
What year would that be?
I don't know.
Come on, you do the math.
52 episodes a year. And we need
It's kind of fun to watch.
more than 600. It's like 13 years from now. I will almost be eligible for Social Security. I will be eligible for early Social Security. And aren't you supposed to start talking with a creaky voice when you're eligible for Social Security?
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is the Monday Money Tip podcast, everybody. Listen up, you youngins. Is that good?
Yep, that was it. Nailed it.
You know what? We could go with the Tuesday morning, the Tuesday money tip and the Wednesday money tip, and we could get there a lot faster. We'd get there in 2 years.
There you go.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, tell everybody what we're going to talk about today.
Yes, so today we are talking about the hidden dangers of lifestyle inflation and how to avoid this trap.
Oh, you just said a trigger word, inflation.
Whoa.
So we're talking about lifestyle inflation here. Inflation is something that's been happening everywhere. But lifestyle inflation, well, that's a particular term. I think you know what it means. But Megan's going to inform all of us as to a definition of lifestyle inflation.
Yes, lifestyle inflation would be spending more as income increases.
Yeah, so as that income goes up, the spending goes up too. And, you know, there's a lot of reasons why people get caught in this. Can we call it a snare, a trap, a pit, what are some other words we could use?
Those are great words.
This cycle, this scenario.
Trying to think of other words.
Okay. Well, what are some reasons why people get caught in this?
Yeah, so the first one would be like a psychological triggers. So you feel like, oh, I've worked so hard, I deserve this. I deserve to spend more money on this because I've worked hard for it. So
I had a person literally tell me recently in a coaching appointment that they should be able to do this with some level of expletives, that they deserve this. They worked to something hard and they deserve this. That's what they said. I think they had a psychological trigger.
They were feeling
fired
up.
I was
different kind of fired up.
Like my eyes were raised up because, you know, in my good Christian environment, that doesn't happen a lot of times. But they were definitely doing something. I think it was a psychological trigger.
They were fired up, yeah.
So another reason is social pressure. And this is the one we probably know the most, keeping up with those Joneses or whatever the name is. You know, those Joneses, where we're comparing ourselves. And this really happens a lot, not just to the Joneses, but to our peers, you know, those people that you run around with. And as they upgrade their lifestyle, they get the pool, they get the brand new vehicle, they get the toys, the in-the-house stuff, the newest and greatest TV movie sets, and redo their kitchen.
Yeah. I feel like social media has made this exponentially. I mean, it's harder because it's not like you're driving by someone's house and you're seeing that, they upgraded, or they tell you about it. No, they post about it 800 times. And
we have eyes.
You're scrolling and you're like, oh man, they got that now. I gotta get that.
I mean, I am serious. As we've said before, and I kind of comment on how you enunciate this word, the wanter versus the wanter. I didn't realize I enunciated it with a U in it, but they can't fire their wanter. Their wanter.
They won't.
So as a result, there they go, lifestyle inflation. And what's another reason?
Yeah, so a convenience trap. So you're spending more for the ease without even questioning it. And this is hard too, because with your phone, you can have everything brought to your door, basically.
And I'm telling you right now, I'm guilty of this one where I stack my schedule so full. Maybe I have a problem. I probably do have a problem, but I fill up my schedule so full that it will cause you to spend more money to DoorDash, to whatever it is, pre-manufactured, pre-prepared, and you're paying for that ease. And man, it can cause lifestyle inflation. And so we want you to avoid this trap because there are some serious hidden financial dangers that many people don't recognize. And I would just ask all of our listeners to just question yourself and be honest. Have you experienced some lifestyle inflation? I know I have. Mm-hmm. Have you experienced some?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And we don't recognize it until these things have begun to cost us some consequences.
Yeah.
And so let's talk about some of the hidden dangers that we don't even recognize until it's in place.
Yep.
Go.
So the first one could be maybe eroding savings potential. So you're reducing the ability to even save for emergencies or retirement because you have these funds going somewhere else. So they're going to buying the newest, greatest thing. They're going to Instacart or Uber Eats or DoorDash or all these. You don't even realize it, and you're not able to use that money for emergencies or retirement. You're not able to invest or do any of those things.
And I see this on a bigger sense, and I see it on the little nibble sense. So the nibble sense is, yeah, I'll sign up for Peacock. I want to watch the football game.
Yeah.
And then you never go back and cancel it, and now you're paying $5 a month. I mean, what's $5 a month? Well, it's $60 a year after tax money. It's like $75 a year. How many hours you have to work to produce that? But then there's the bigger ones, and that is when we're buying a house and buying a car. That's what I see is we're like, hey, we set a budget before we go looking at houses, and then you go see the real price of houses, and then interest rates go up, and the next thing you're like, I want that now. If we just sacrifice it, if we just, I know it'd be $250 more a month, but I really want this model.
Right.
And the next thing you know, lifestyle inflation snaps its trap, and you're in it.
Yeah.
And it's hard to get out of it for years sometimes, maybe even decades.
Well, you get the house too, and then there's all these other things you have to get for the house.
Well, it's more house, so you have to heat all that square space. You've got to cool that.
Yeah, more furniture. You need to buy new curtains.
More stuff to break, more toilets. I had to fix a toilet yesterday. It was the valve was leaking. It's been there 10 years. Things were out, built a brand new house, and now things are breaking. I guess I have to burn it down and build it up. No. It was a cheap fix, $6.
There you go.
Okay, and then we also have debt accumulation. And I just talked about that as we upgrade our lifestyle, well, all of a sudden we have debt and we have to pay that back. And if it's at any level of a variable interest rate, that can really start to strangle you if rates go up, and you have no control of the macro interest rate environment.
Yeah. All right, the next one may be delayed financial freedom. So you're missing opportunities for investments. You're not able to spend that money investing, which affects the future and maybe your financial freedom of a lot of different areas.
We've shared this all the time. It's a simple calculation. It's so basic, but it's so vitally important that, I'm confident. Listen, those of you out there in podcast land, if you're not investing, you're missing the opportunity to have hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars in your retirement years, in those years where you're going to you'll prayerfully have freedom to travel, freedom to bless others, freedom to go do mission stuff. And if you spend all the money now without investing, you're not going to have that opportunity.
Yeah.
And I meet so many people that are in the midst of the regret, and they're in their 60s, and they're like, man, this time value of money, I wish I would have. And then, of course, this is probably the biggest hidden danger.
Yeah.
What's that?
It's increased stress.
Oh.
So higher expenses require sustained higher income. You have to stay at that level or keep going higher in order to meet the needs that you're spending.
And if things start struggling at work and you start hearing about layoffs, you start hearing about cut hours, you talk about stress turning into a full-blown panic attack.
Yeah.
I've seen it. I've seen it happen for people. So the lifestyle inflation, that's what we're talking about. And there's some warning signs of it. There's some warning signs, Megan.
Yeah. So maybe you are always doing the frequent upgrades of your phone, your car, vacation.
If you upgrade your iPhone and you get one number upgrade, you're upgrading too often.
Yeah.
Right? I have a 12 right now. I think they're like
I have a
19,
too.
17, something. I don't know. But listen, if you upgrade a car every 2 years, 3 years, you always have a payment. If you're going on the massive vacation and putting on a credit card, that's a problem. Or if you're spending to keep up with those social media trends, or watch this is another warning sign. If you only increase your spending with a raise, but you don't have a proportional increase in your investments or savings, it's a problem. Yeah. So we want to help you. We want to help ourselves avoid this lifestyle inflation. And so this is a little longer episode. I appreciate you sticking with us, but this is going to be some really helpful stuff. And the first one, though, is a challenge, though. It's We have to include it. But none of us want to hear it.
No.
But let's go ahead and say it out loud. Put it in the atmosphere. I'm not going to say it. I dare you to say it.
So here's a way to avoid some lifestyle inflation. First, you have to accept personal responsibility.
But I don't want to.
I know.
I don't want to accept personal responsibility. I want it to be someone else's fault. Isn't it someone else's fault?
No.
It's the government's fault. It's the big bad business owner's fault. It's the stock market. It's the bullies. It's the Congress's fault.
There's always somebody
right?
to blame.
But listen, financial situations, they really don't improve until you accept personal responsibility. I mean, does a vacation really make sense if you have no savings?
Yeah.
You know, does the house upgrade make sense if it costs you the ability to save for your retirement? Are monthly subscriptions worth it if they cost you 10 hours a week of mindless consumption while at the very same time not putting any money in the kids' college fund? Uh-oh. I've waded into it now.
You have.
People just turned us off. They're like,
in.
nope. But hey, listen, accepting personal responsibility is huge for avoiding lifestyle inflation.
Yeah.
And then,
I feel like you can't really move forward until you do that.
Yeah, you have to say,
first step.
I have way more control of this than anything else. This starts with me. It ends here. Mm-hmm. Let's put together a budget.
Yeah.
Also known as a budget.
A budget.
I did it as a compound word. Did you like that? Budget?
Yeah. All right. The next one is maybe automate savings. So you increase saving rates with each raise before you see the money.
Ooh. So you meet with the boss. Have you ever met with the boss?
Many times.
And has the boss ever said you get a raise?
Yes.
Yes. That's awesome.
It's a great feeling.
And so it is a great feeling. But listen, when you get the raise, sometimes it's like a couple weeks before it goes into place or whatever. Go ahead and bump up your savings. So, you know, maybe you got a 4% raise and say, I'm going to bump up my investment contribution by 2%. That way you still get some money extra at home, but your investments go up.
Yeah.
Get fired up. And then set financial goals. Make sure you prioritize your investments and debt repayment and the emergency fund. You know, pull out a copy of the ladder, the fully funded life ladder, print it out, and put some goal dates for each of those things. When you would like to achieve that emergency fund of 1 month of expenses, rung number 2. When you'd like to achieve debt freedom on everything except for the house, rung 4. Hey, put that goal for when you want to pay off the house. That's awesome.
Yep.
And set those financial goals. It'll help you know what you're aiming at.
Yep. Our next one is delayed gratification. So wait 30 days before big purchases. And this is really
30
important.
30 days?
I know, it seems like a long time, but remember your why. So we call them your plans, hopes, and dreams, your PhDs. So maybe some questions to ask. Does this decision help me achieve one of your plans, hopes, and dreams, one of your PhDs? Or does this decision prevent me from achieving one of your PhDs? So if the answer is yes to both of these questions, maybe...
Time out. Let's stop there.
Yeah.
You can answer yes to both those questions. Does this decision help me achieve a plan, hope, or dream? But it could also prevent me from achieving another plan, hope, and dream? Mm-hmm. Oh, this is when we have to make choices, right?
Yeah.
So if you're saying yes to both of them,
which PhD is more important?
That's right. You have to say which one's most important to me.
And I feel like a lot of them are like, some of them are 1 year or 3 year or 5 year,
right.
Or maybe even like a 10, 20 year plan. You know, maybe your kid is little and you're wanting to send them to college and help pay for it. Well, that's a long-term goal. And maybe you have another goal that you want to accomplish in a year and you're wanting to, you know, focus on that. It's just figuring out which one is important.
So I think this balancing act, and none of us are guaranteed of the future, but we all have to plan for the future. Mm-hmm. And if you're in your 20s, a lot of people I see that are really getting their financial footing, they forego extravagant vacations in lieu of buying that house they wanted to finally have a house that they own. And that's a sacrifice, right? Both are plans, hopes, and dreams, going on the trip, owning the house. But also I see as you move into 30s and start making progress, suddenly you can maybe have the house and a vacation. But it's like, hey, now we have this choice of 2 different plans, hopes, and dreams of, I want to start this business. I feel this calling. I've worked in corporate America, but I want to start a business or buy a business. And you know what? Maybe I'm willing to sacrifice other dreams in this moment. for a while. And I always say for myself, usually saying yes to these two questions, does it help me achieve a plan, hope, or dream? And it also prevents one. It doesn't usually prevent it forever.
Right.
It's just for now. And that's really important to remind yourself of when you're having to say no. Because look, we like all of our plans, hopes, and dreams. That's why we have them. Yeah.
Yep.
And then, of course, the last thing is, after you've delayed gratification, is you need to budget wisely. And as I referenced earlier, which it humored me, so I'm going to say it again, if you don't like budgeting, why not do bud getting? And adjust your budget intentionally instead of impulsively. Make adjustments to your budget, the bud get, whatever you want to call it, the cash plan, the zero-based plan, whatever you want to call it to help you get with the program here. Do that with wisdom, with your plans, hopes, and dreams in mind. And I think that will really help you at least counter most of the effects of lifestyle inflation.
Yeah.
Of course, we would love for you to join Fully Funded Life. This is a community that allows you to have access to courses that we've prepared especially for our community. Courses on everything from basic budgeting to advanced investing techniques. We also have challenges where you can get really good at a money skill really fast. A 21-day saving challenge, a 40-day budget challenge, a spending challenge. And then we also have coaching. And this is one of the premium benefits is you can get access to a real live coach who will coach you, no judgment zone, help you really get a plan. Whatever you're pondering financially, they can speak into that and you can guaranteed not have a sales pitch happen. We're not selling any financial products, instruments, none of that. And then you can join our community. We have Facebook Live events throughout the month. You've been on some of them.
Yeah.
And so I encourage you guys, check it out at fullyfunded.life. Thanks for joining us on this Monday. Have a great week, everybody. Thanks for watching. Hey, if you've gotten value from this, and I believe you have, click that subscribe button, click that thumbs up, leave a comment, share it with somebody. We want to make sure that this community grows so that we can all together live fully funded lives. Thanks for being a part of our family.